This is a 150-watt portable vacuum cleaner. Now this one is a little different than the most that I have because this one comes with a cord, whereas most of my other ones are battery powered. There's some pros about this as well though. One, since it's a cord, it has constant power. A lot of the ones that have batteries only last around 20 to 30 minutes, so this one will run forever unless you burn out the motor. So I like that. We're actually going to be testing out quite a bit just to see if this cord is long enough to work out through the car, even in the trunk. The other good thing about having this cord is the fact that it's a little more powerful than the battery powered ones because you have constant power. So let's see what you get. Now it's pretty standard. It has an on and off switch right here that you just flip up and down. And then when you turn it on, there's actually a light here that'll light up. So some of those dark places, even during the daytime in your car, this light comes in handy. And then to open this up, you just press down on the button, open this up, and you have the nozzle, it comes right off. You have your filter. So you can clean this off very easily. And then in this front nozzle, you actually have a flap. I like this flap because as things fill up, dirt, whatever, rocks, they could fall out if you don't have this flap. And a lot of the other ones do not have that flap, which is very annoying, but this one does. And then one thing a commenter put on there is they said that if you catch a bug with it, it'll keep the bugs in. So I thought that was pretty funny. But that's pretty much it. Now let's see the other accessories. Now first, you get a bag, which for some of these cheaper units, they don't usually supply a bag, and then I have to rummage around and try to find something to put this in with all these other attachments that can get lost very easily. So I'm really glad that they include a bag with this. Now my favorite piece is this nozzle, which I think more vacuum cleaners, car vacuum cleaners should include this because it just makes it so much easier to get in a lot of these little crazy places that because this is kind of bulky, it's hard to get into, and especially in a car, especially in a small car. So I really wish more manufacturers would include this in their vacuum cleaners. Now you do get two filters, so if one's dirty and you need to clean it or you're letting it dry because you can't get these wet, just let them air dry. You have another one so you don't have to wait around. And then you also get the brush so you can clean it off. I personally like to use kind of my little shop vac brush because it's bigger and it can get in there deeper, but this will work just fine if you're in a pinch and you need it. It's in the bag. You also get the crevice tool for those hard to reach places like in between the seats and stuff like that. And then you get the brush that you can take across the seats and stuff like that to kind of scrape stuff off, especially like lint or dog hair if you have something like that. And that is about it. One thing that I did forget to mention is I use these vacuum cleaners more in my house because I have kids and I like to clean up a lot of little stuff than I actually do in my car. But because of this limitation, you can get another accessory. It's an AC to DC converter that you can plug into the wall and plug this into. So you can use that. The only problem is you do have to have another accessory in order to make this work. But it's fairly inexpensive and you can use it either or. Just make sure you get the right one that says you can use it for a vacuum cleaner because some of them aren't powerful enough to power this. So you gotta make sure you get the right one it says to use with a vacuum. With that, let's get to the testing. So the first test to see is just how it picks up just random junk that's on my floor. I haven't vacuumed in a while, so we'll see how it goes. It picked up the pine needles and rocks no problem. I'm happy with that performance. Let's go to the next test. Now next I want to see how much power I lose by attaching the nozzle. I see very little loss in power, so like I said, this hose is a great addition. Not much to see, but here's the brush tool in action. Now with this next test, I'd like to see how the vacuum holds up with heavy items and then very light, glittery items. So I know you probably won't have nuts and bolts, but you know, it's a good test. Now I'll say with this, I've seen better that will also pick up these nuts and the screws. So the power, I'd say is about average. I have some that will pick up this no problem. So keep that in mind. But like I said, you probably won't be picking up a lot of nuts and bolts. All right, let's see how it does with very fine dirt. You might not be able to see it very well, but it picked up the glitter no problem. Even in the cracks here, all of it's gone. I don't see any sparkles or trace of the glitter at all. So I do like that performance. So for the last thing, I want to show you the length of the cord. Now I have a Honda Civic, which is a smaller vehicle, but this will kind of give you some perspective if you have a larger vehicle and say you want to vacuum out the trunk, which I like to do a lot because usually that's the dirtiest as well because I throw a lot of stuff in here. And the cord works just fine, and I've got quite a bit of slack to go all over. So no problems getting in any corner of the trunk. So I hope this helps. Take care.